Looking like a real Rastaman, yeah. Rastaman over here, respect. Respect, man. Me and the ting team out for a walk. Mind you, I already got my 10K plus steps already in on the walking pad. More like 26K. Get at your girl. Just out dressed for the day. And going to hit some more steps by taking my little princess poodle. Come on, girl. Taking my little toy poodle for a walk. Possibly up to the park. See. Depending on how far it is. Not that distance matters to me. It doesn't matter. But it matters to her because, you know, she middle-aged over here, okay? She in her mid-40s. And she be looking at me like, sis, I'm ready to go in. You out here getting these steps. I don't need to get these steps in, okay? My name is Princess, and I'm bougie. And I like to be out here for a few minutes, and then I like to wrap it on up and go in. I promise you, I feel like that's how she be. That's how she be thinking. That's how she be looking when I look at her. So we ain't gonna be out here that long. But enough so she can get a little bit of movement for herself. You know, dog health matters. Dog wellness matters, you know. Their fitness levels matters. Just as mine. Tell me why, you know. Walked in one of my little local, you know, corner stores or whatever. I wouldn't really want to say local. It's kind of like a deli, multi-purpose, all the things store. Walk in and a guy immediately addresses my posture in a good way. And I'm just like, what is this, a compliment? And he was like, I could just tell. You have great posture. I said, oh, well, thank you for noticing. And he was like, well, you know, I was raised the same way. I said, huh? We got some folks that was raised with some sense on these parts. Some sensible parents, rather. I thought that was nice and refreshing. I'm like, you know what? Even if you feel like you're in a doom type of mindset for whatever reason, you're feeling down, you're feeling disappointed for whatever's going on in your life or your weight loss journey or the lack of weight loss in your journey or whatever the case is, someone's always watching. Someone's always watching you. And someone's always seeing the good in you. Although you may be seeing the bad. You may be up in a funk about whatever. But somebody out there sees the freshness in you. And that's just so like uplifting and encouraging, you know, because I go through a number of things personally, you know, that I don't divulge. And they do, you know, tend to have a bearing on my mentality, which is why it is super essential for me to have my fitness routine. The fitness routine is not just to maintain health and wellness, of course. It's to maintain mental health. It's to make me feel good. It's to reinstate the dopamines in my brain and other happy feeling hormones. To make me feel good in my life. To continue to move forward in pursuit in everything. Doing all the things. So just knowing that somebody out there just watching you, somebody seeing you, somebody out there encouraging you is a blessing. Come on, girlie. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate all compliments, honey, because they're needed. They're always needed. I'm a lady. We are ladies, and we like being complimented. We like to feel good, especially with all the work we be putting up in to get fit in these streets, okay? Moreover, what's the T? What's the T for GOP? What's the T for my GOP, y'all? Y'all, I am going into the 3rd month without my once-a-month injection. So we passing the 60-day mark here. We'll be going into this month of August. So I'll be going into the 90-day mark. And I know I was like, you know what? Let me check. Let me re-inject on, the 60-day mark. But I'm just like, as the week is going by, each week, I'm not really feeling the urgency to need to, if that makes sense. It's like, it's not like I'm having outrageous food noise. Now, I have food noise. Yes, don't think that you don't at this point. This thing is pretty much 2 months, 60 days out of my system. I got food noise. Food noise is there, but food noise is normal. And what we have conditioned ourselves to believe with the introduction of GLP-1 medication is that having food noise is the devil. Having food noise is the end-all be-all. Having food noise will terrorize your life. Having food noise will completely destroy your weight loss journey and your maintenance lifestyle. I have to say I disagree, because food noise nothing but an extension of a hunger cue. Say that again, food noise. Food noise ain't nothing but an extension of a hunger cue. It is about understanding how to draw the distinction. Is it on the hunger cue side or is it on the craving side? Because sometimes food noise creeps in because you're still hungry. You did not eat enough. And then sometimes food noise creeps in after you eating on a craving indication. And that's when it could be linked to, oh, you want something sweet. That's a craving. And you can associate, oh, food noise to me wanting to satisfy that craving for sweet, which is not a big deal either and is absolutely normal. It's when food noise is out of control. It's when you can't control your food noise. It's when you can't draw the distinction between your food noise and a food cue, a hunger cue. All of which GLP-1 medication should be able to regulate and stabilize over time. But with me being off of it for a period and only on my once a month, my food noise was always still there, y'all. On a once a month injection, it just was not as aggressive. And I'm not sure, is it because of, the period of time I've been using GLP-1? Has it made some type of, permanent implementation on, sedating certain hormones at a certain level, even without using it? Am I still reaping the benefit of the effect of it suppressing a hormone now that I'm no longer on it? A lot of studies have not been taken yet, so there's a lot of data we do not know. A lot of testing has not occurred, and specifically for people who are on a once a month injection or people who are just freshly off of it for 90 or so days. Isn't there not enough peer-reviewed studies? Just they're not, and they're not highlighted. I'm just going off of based off of what I've experienced. And it's not out of control. My food noise is not out of control. Now, what is different is that when there is a desire for food versus me being on a weekly injection at a time every week and me pretty much having no desire to eat. That is what I don't want to go back to, because I do appreciate food. I enjoy food, and I don't want my sensors completely shut off or 75% shut off where I can't enjoy the concept of food and taste. Because GLP-1 alters your taste palates. It can give you food aversion. I've had all of this. You know, all of a sudden you don't want the food, that type of food, and there's nothing wrong with it, but you just don't want it. I mean, do I want to live the rest of my life like that? Not ever wanting something sweet? Maybe some people may, but at a certain point, they'll start to feel deprived and psychologically off and not normal, because nothing about that is not normal. I want the full operation of my senses. I do. GLP-1 sedates those senses. And the higher dose you go, the higher the sedation for most people. Some, not so much, and they need more sedation to get to their goal. They need more appetite suppression. So in this situation, a lot of people need more appetite suppression, right? And then they also need food noise suppression. Some just need one or the other. Some need both appetite suppression and food noise suppression. And some need just food noise suppression. They don't care about the appetite suppression because that's enough. They're focused on the food noise. And I think a lot of people are on this medication who have been on it for a quite bit of time, reaching into the maintenance phase, or where you would think they would be entering the maintenance phase, because a lot of us have been on this medication for 2+ years. So logically, you would think we have entered maintenance. And with entering maintenance, there's an introduction to food noise, depending on how low your dose is for maintenance and your dosing schedule. Food noise will reintroduce itself. Are you going to panic because you have food noise is the question. Are we not supposed to have a hunger cue? Are we not allowed to have a thought that, oh, I think I want a graham cracker? Does that mean you have destroyed all your efforts because you have a thought that you want a graham cracker? Or you have a thought of, oh, that graham cracker with some plain yogurt and some dried fruit drizzled on the top would be good for a snack later. Good and healthy and protein packed and fiberish and refreshing. Is that the end, the be all, because you have that thought and you got to cancel that out because that's food noise? I think we need to have a better understanding of food noise, hunger cues, and just normalcy, being normal while on GLP-1 medication. Because on GLP-1 medication, it gives you the confused signals of being abnormal. It gives you mixed signals on abnormality when it comes to food. You should be developing a better relationship with food. You should not be afraid of food on GLP-1 medication because you're afraid of food noise. 2 years later. I'm sorry, y'all. 2 years later, we should have a better handle and a better understanding logically on hunger cues, and food noise. And our maintenance dose or our regular weekly dose we're taking to make sure that we can manage all that we're managing, in whatever phase of transformation we are in: weight loss, maintenance, or body recomposition. It's okay to enjoy food. It's okay. I'm about enjoying food, enjoying life, and enjoying it in a fit body. And the only way to do that is to continue healthy systems of practice through movement, primarily steps. Getting them 10 to 15 to 20K steps in if you can a day or 6 days a week. I'm telling you, you get so used to it, your body craves it. And when you look at your body wants it. It's showing the benefits of it. You feel and look leaner. In addition to your weight training 3 times a week. Come on, y'all. Y'all serious about this? Are we gonna go into another year, 2027, with the same resolutions? I've been going since January 2026, boo. Have you? I still been on top. No matter setbacks, I still been in pursuit, still been consistent, still been in discipline since January 2026. So when we start approaching January 2027, I hope the energy is the same for y'all. And we're not going to be on the same energy of trying to figure out what dose works for us, for the vets, okay? People that, for us, who should be in maintenance by now. We're working on it. But along the way, we've learned a lot. The do's, the don'ts, the doses that work and the doses that don't. What not to play around with, other supplementations to couple and pair with the GLP-1 and our lifestyle to make metabolic support even better. So you can burn more calories and not just put everything on the GLP-1, because at a point, the GLP-1 medication loses efficacy. Period. The longer you're on it. The longer you're on it, the less you'll actually start to feel its effect. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It's still working for inflammation control. And if you're a diabetes patient, it's working for A1C control and regulation. Yes. But it may not be as prominent in suppression. So, GLP-1 is doing a number of things. It may fall short in one area after a while of use, but you have to fill it in with supplementation, your other systems of practice via steps. I'm going to push steps all the time because it's one of the best forms of cardio that doesn't strike your cortisol levels as much as others. Very low cortisol level striking. Very low. And you can walk as much as you want and don't have to worry about losing muscle. That's one of the things. You could burn fat. You could burn fat crazy for body recomposition, which requires you to burn fat and build muscle simultaneously. Walking is a source for that. So, as long as you got that in place, and your mind is right with nutrition, and your dose is right, if you're on GLP-1, you should be good. And if you're not on GLP-1, you still should be good. Because the same practices apply. One thing that might be more beneficial to you if you're not on GLP-1 for that suppression is the fasting mechanism, which is what I practice. So if you're not on the GLP-1, fasting, intermittent fasting, may be helpful for you in triggering those suppressive components, because fasting does trigger suppression. And I do know that firsthand because I am a long time faster, intermittent faster. I'm still in my fast right now. My fast began at I think 8:30 or 9 last night. We up into the afternoon. What is it? It's probably like what, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still fasting, and my stomach doesn't hurt. I'm hydrated. I had a good workout. I did my steps, 26K on a fasted stomach. Still drunk water, and at this current time, walking my dog. There's no grumbling of growling in my tummy, telling me to eat. I'm not hungry. I will eat a little bit later, but I'm not hungry. And this is a suppressive tool. Now, I've used this tool in addition to GLP-1 since I've been on GLP-1, which has a lot to do with how I lost the weight rapidly as I did. Plus, I'm just an aggressive loser, y'all, to be honest with you. When it comes to stuff like that, attacking weight loss, I'm going in hard with different systems. And then maybe do process of elimination later on after I start seeing results. But I go head on. Like when it's time to lose weight, sugary drinks are immediately cut and no longer purchased. Diet and zero sugar drinks is what I'm consuming. Sparkling water and water only. Off the back. So that's just something I don't got to worry about. And those are pounds down and fat down. Then consolidating my meals to pretty much 1.5 meals, preventing me from overeating by eating multiple times a day and possibly eating outside of the moderation amount. And then just the multiple eating can put me in a hinging mindset. So this thing is definitely subjective and delicate with fasting. So for me, it's essential because it'll keep me in line and out of that type of mindset. I don't want to be in a hinge mindset, and that's kind of a trigger. You know, I keep eating multiple meals and I can't stop eating. And you can't get that leptin hormone under control. And that's when GLP-1 comes in. When you're on a weekly dose, every weekly dose, but I'm on a monthly dose for now. When my pockets free up some more and I get past my Sonobello procedure, I'm probably going to switch it to bi-weekly 7.5. I'll probably take it every 2 weeks. But for now, and all the way up to my procedure, I'm going to take it just once a month. But going back to the fasting comparison, without the GLP-1 and with it definitely makes a major difference. Those who may be interested in intermittent fasting or how it works when it comes to suppression, when you're fueled the right way, intermittent fasting works, and it can give you suppression. And when it's time to break your fast, when it's time to break your fast, more than likely, you're not going to be as hungry. You think you're going to be like ravaged, like starving, ready to tear up everything. No, you might be a little hungry. You ready to eat, but it's not like you're starving, if that makes sense. It's not like you're starving, although you fasted most of the day. It's just not. It's the science to it, y'all. And it's so beneficial through autophagy. That's why I'm doing this long term too, so it can just clean up old dead protein cells in the skin. Talking about youth rejuvenation, fasting could kill off them old, unuseful genes in the cells. Get rid of that dead skin. That loose skin is dead protein in the skin. And what helps to get rid of it is for the body to consume it. And in order for the body to consume the dead skin, to create more of a tightened look, it's going to take long-term fasting. You got to fast past a certain amount of hours consistently, weekly, monthly, and even for the year to achieve autophagy. Now, my skin ain't all the way where it need to be, but it's definitely better than where it was. And that's just because I'm a long-term faster and I weight train. So when you combine the fasting and the weight training and the steps, you still get results. You get results for weight loss, you get results for maintenance, you get results for body recomp. And this is without GLP-1. But you also get the same results with GLP-1. However, you get more side effects with the GLP-1. Some that you can monitor, some that may be annoying. I figured for me, the side effects that were more annoying are nausea. That's primarily the one I want to avoid. I can handle the sulfur burps to an extent. I ain't trying to be birching. I ain't trying to be belching all over the place, okay? So to an extent, but not every moment you got a belch coming out. That's a problem. That's a problem. But pretty much, if that's all I'm dealing with on a once a month injection, I think that's a win. Because the main reason why I did a once a month injection is because one, didn't want side effects on a weekly basis until this gets, acquainted in my system. And even after acquaintance in the system, the side effects still could creep up on you out of nowhere. You can get the feelings of acid reflux or GERD, all that like stuff could just come up because of what you ate is extremely sensitive on this medication. You may think you were good for a moment, then you mess around and ate some Caribbean, infused jollof rice. You know what I'm saying? I love some jollof rice. Or some egusi soup. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and you got bubble guts. You uncomfortable. And you may even have a sensation to want to vomit because of nausea. Just because the stuff is not working well in your system. And that right there is like a setback for me when it comes to GLP-1 medication. That's a major setback. Which is why I really appreciate once a month. Because when I went to once a month, I didn't have those symptoms. I honestly did not. No symptoms as far as that. I think I had a belch here and there. Probably slight fatigue in the beginning, like when I first take my injection. The first 2 weeks I probably had some fatigue, and that was it. After that, there was nothing left of side effects that I experienced. And that's just on my once a month injection, which is why I want to stay on it. And I feel like that is like prominent for body recomposition, you know, which requires you to eat. You got to be able to eat protein-based, fiber-focused foods, but you got to eat. And sometimes I might have to eat a little bit more than my 1.5 meals a day, or make them a little bit more heftier than I do. But I can't consume that much if I am on a regular weekly dose of 7.5. I won't be able to. And then I'll have all those symptoms, those side effects. For me, to have a comfortable maintenance and body recomposition lifestyle, once a month is a sweet spot. And maybe after that, maybe twice a month, every 2 weeks may be that lasting, permanent sweet spot after I have gotten, my stomach done and the rest of my body is lifted from Sonobello. That'd be my permanent dose, as long as I can afford it, every 2 weeks. Until then, it'll be every month, and that's how it go. But I can eat, and I can enjoy body recomposition. I can eat how I eat, and then I can use the appropriate amount of food that I've consumed as fuel to fuel my workouts, to fuel my long form walking, to get my 20 plus K steps, to fuel my weight training sessions. They usually last about an hour. I mean, and I feel good doing each exercise of 12 reps through, 5 sets each. Like, just food is essential. Food is fuel. So trying to work this thing out with GLP-1 and food and body recomposition can be a challenge, because if you are highly dosed up on a high dose, it's going to prevent you from eating, therefore prevent you from growing muscle and toning your body, and then preventing you from feeling good. Because I'm telling you, ain't no feeling like this feeling when you feel like you're on a sweet dose and you're on an appropriate workout regimen that works amazingly for you. You have a ton of energy. You feel lighter and you feel stronger. You're gonna want to keep that up. Trust and believe you're gonna want to keep that up, sis. And that's where I'm at, wanting to keep it up. So, testing out what I got so far. We going on 90 days in this month of August, and I'm gonna push it that 90 day. Then after that 90 day, I'm guessing I'm still gonna be in my 125 to 135 range. I feel like I am. My clothing didn't change. Nothing changed. And then at that point, I'm going to start re-injecting. And then I can imagine I'm probably going to receive some type of side effect just from being off of it for 90 days and then re-injecting once a month. It's kind of going to be a new introduction to my body. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But that's pretty much the plan. I'm going to give y'all the tea on me and Princess's little walk out here in these streets. And people probably would say, yeah, you went out on a walk with your dog. Let that be your walk. Make that the step count. The walk, here's my thing, the walk with my dog is extra leisure steps to be accumulated. I want to make sure I grasp all the required steps that I need initially in the beginning. And then anything else I have planned for the day is accumulation. And I feel like that's the best way to be. That's the best way to be, son. Why not? Thanks for tuning in to my walk. Me and Princess, little walk out here in these streets. Thanks for tuning in to me and Princess's little walk out here into these streets. Here, my little rant. Hope you out here getting your steps in. However you can fit them in, get them in. Get them in. Okay? Steps have to be a permanent part of your life, boo. If you want to be lean and fit. And if you want to keep the weight off. See you in the next video. Be real.